Picture a steel behemoth carrying thousands of tons of cargo, slamming into 50-foot swells in the middle of a pitch-black ocean. To even step foot on the bridge of a vessel like that, you need a rigorous baseline of technical expertise. In the maritime industry, these are known as hard skills. This diagram illustrates those required metrics. We are talking about the concrete mathematics, statistical data, and complex engineering knowledge necessary to physically drive, navigate, and maintain the ship. A massive diesel engine provides the raw physical power to push a ship forward. However, relying strictly on that mechanical perfection leaves the voyage entirely vulnerable to failure. Look inside the bridge and the reality shifts. Ships are highly claustrophobic, high-stress environments where diverse crews are locked together in a floating metal box for months at a time. The most consistent threat to a vessel comes from within. It is the human element, specifically how the friction of cultural and language diversity can easily trigger dangerous miscommunication. When seafarers fail to connect with one another, the environment takes a severe psychological toll. The resulting isolation and loneliness regularly breed darker issues like bullying, depression, and chronic fatigue. When that psychological safety net snaps, it sets off a direct chain reaction. A misunderstood order or a severely fatigued decision quickly spirals into major human error and catastrophic maritime accidents. To survive this pressure cooker, crews rely on maritime culture. This is a living, dynamic sociological system based entirely on shared knowledge and shared experiences that helps mitigate human risks. Within that broad system is something highly specific: merchant marine culture. Notice how these sailors are eating and living shoulder to shoulder. They forge a collective identity that completely overrides their different nationalities, ages, genders, and racial backgrounds. To make this work, seafarers adopt what sociologists call a homeless mind. They learn to mentally detach from their rigid, local identities back home so they can adapt to the multicultural reality right in front of them. Through this mindset, they develop a unique symbolic language. It allows a crew pulled from 5 different continents to communicate seamlessly and share their daily experiences without missing a beat. This shared culture becomes a vital psychological safeguard. It keeps a highly diverse, exhausted crew from fracturing into isolated, hostile factions under extreme stress. Shipping organizations know they cannot leave this collective identity to chance. They regulate safety and manage their crews through a corporate framework called Merchant Marine Organizational Culture. The global body formalizing these safety and cultural frameworks is the International Maritime Organization, or IMO. The IMO mandates a specific training requirement known as the HELM course, Human Element Leadership and Management. It specifically trains officers on how to build cultural awareness and actively motivate a multicultural crew. Looking at the other half of this diagram, we see the focus of HELM. It targets the soft skills, the critical abilities managers need to actually understand the cultural symbols, norms, and values of their crewmates. By mandating courses like HELM, the industry takes abstract sociological concepts and operationalizes them into a measurable, highly effective tool for accident prevention. All of those high-level corporate policies ultimately trickle down into a hyper-local reality known as ship culture. This is the day-to-day intersection of company ethics and raw human interaction aboard one specific vessel. The ultimate goal of a healthy ship culture is establishing a functional home away from home. It creates a vital sense of belonging for seafarers when they are adrift for months. But this local ecosystem is incredibly fragile. It rarely breaks down because of a massive structural failure. Instead, it slowly rots from everyday interpersonal friction. The catalysts for this deterioration are entirely human: a fundamental lack of respect, intolerance towards other cultures, or casual harassment, or missing modern lifelines like internet to call family. A ship's overall safety is exactly as strong as its ship culture. Once that social fabric tears, the technical safeguards on board will inevitably fail alongside it. Physically navigating a multi-million-dollar cargo vessel across an ocean is an exact mathematical science. Keeping that ship running smoothly requires mastering the complex, unpredictable art of managing the diverse, isolated human beings who actually live inside the machine. Heavy machinery, steel plating, and satellite navigation systems only form the outer shell of global shipping. The survival of the modern seafaring industry depends on the invisible bonds of maritime culture and the soft skills required to protect the human element.